Hello and welcome back to Justice for Jean Alesi. The F1 1995 season is getting to a critical point. There are just 2 points between us, Jean Alesi, and Damon Hill. Michael Schumacher is still in the fight, he's only 8 points back. Still plenty to play for. In the Constructors, Williams are 15 points clear. Their gap is closing, but not for us. Benetton have retaken second place, so we've got some work to do. We might miss out on second, let alone first. On to the next round.
This is historic Monza, where we're about to see the Italian Grand Prix.
Well, it didn't last long, did it? After finally seeing 2 consecutive dry races in a row, for the first time, we come to Monza and it's raining again. I mean, it was never going to last, was it? So yes, as Murray said, historic Monza, and yeah, historic is definitely the word. This is the 3rd ever purpose-built racing track in the world. It was built in 1922. Yeah, this has hosted every single Italian Grand Prix since 1949, with the exception of 1980, as that season the track was being upgraded, I think for safety purposes. So that year, Imola stood in and hosted the Italian Grand Prix for that one time. It's been Monza all the way ever since. Right, as always, I'm going to get some practice in, and then I will see you lovely people on Saturday, virtual Saturday, for qualifying. See you in a second. Right, let's sort out the grid. In real life, on pole, was David Coulthard from Michael Schumacher, Gerhard Berger, and then Damon Hill. Jean Alesi qualified 5th. Again, decent objective, that will be our target for today's session. In the wet on this game, as I've mentioned before, it jumbles up the grid, so pole position will stay the same, Coulthard will be on pole, but our rivals could be anywhere. Typically, it's put them further down the order, but as the season's gone on, they've been jumbled less and less. They've kind of been higher up, and I prefer that. I prefer the close fight for race day, although I kind of said that about Spa, and that didn't go great. But we've yet to get pole this season. I mean, the Italian Grand Prix would be perfect place to do so, don't you think? Fingers crossed we can get a decent result. Our best result in any weather in qualifying has been 2nd place, and that was in the wet at Monaco. I don't want to blow my own trumpet. Oh, excuse me. To be fair, after that I probably shouldn't blow my own trumpet. I feel like Monza could be a good one for qualifying. I do like this track. In the dry, I'd be absolutely loving the challenge of this, when you can get on the curbs. Oh, you know, oh. See, I'd be loving that in the dry. Loving throwing it through the Ascari chicane in the dry. Obviously some minor differences, as you can see. The Rettifiglio chicane is a double chicane that goes the opposite direction to the way it goes today. But then when we get through to Curva Grande, Rosia chicane, it's pretty much the same. Again, just minor profile changes here and there. Like the Lesmos seem a lot more open. Johnny Herbert's on pole. Have I done my research wrong? I'm sure David Coulthard got pole, and it pretty much gives pole position to whoever got it in real life.
Not anymore, baby!
So it is odd to see Johnny Herbert's name there, unless it's about to change. Just when I think I know what this game's going to throw at me. Something interesting, actually, that I've realised as I've started to get used to this game. I was changing my setup every single race to suit the track. So I was thinking, right, there's a lot more straights on this, or there's not as many hairpins or whatever, so I would adjust the downforce accordingly. I think for like 3 or 4 races now I've not touched it. And I think it's because actually it's less about the setup for the track. I've just now got the car set up to how I like to drive. Better through Rosia. Let's get the line now through the Lesmos. Couple of lifts off to the throttle as we get through the first one. Second one is flat. Ooh, up to lift. That was a good lap. That was on for a decent lap, and I've just No curb on the exit. Oh, for... It's not the quickest through Ascari, but we've kept it on the black stuff, so that's all that really matters at the minute. We're going to come across the line, 4.9 seconds away, up to 6th now. Oh, this is annoying. Oh, don't, 40. Okay, we've gotten past that. Slightly slower through the first Lesmo than planned, but we're past. That was decent through Parabolica. Could still be a little bit better on the exit, but this is good as we head towards the line. This isn't a million miles away. What's it gonna be? It's 5th, and we match real life Jean Alesi. Still time to improve. Let's try and do that. Catching up from this footwork from before. Thinking about it is actually quite bad that in the last race, in the dry where I'm slower, where I restricted myself to just 3 laps as a penalty, I qualified 7th. Yet in the wet, where I'm quicker and I've got all 12 laps, I'm currently only 5th. Just remembering to brake early enough. I always miss my braking point for Rozier. That was pretty good. Again. I could have just lifted off for a second and adjusted my position, but I thought, you know what, I can ride this out. You can carry the speed all the way up to Parabolica. No, you can't, mate. You're going in the wall. Bad. Oh, that's actually slightly disappointing because even though I've qualified 5th, there was a much better lap in there. Johnny Herbert's on pole from David Coulthard, who was the real-life pole sitter. Don't know why it's happened, but it has. Martin Brundle in 3rd, Ukio Katayama in 4th. Damon Hill is in 5th. Told you they were getting less lenient in the wet. We are 6th. Schumacher is 7th, and Taki Inui is 8th. Our teammate Gerhard Berger is down in 9th. That could have been so much better. Now, though, is not a time for me to start feeling sorry for myself, because this is important. In real life, the race was won by Johnny Herbert. It was an interesting race. Schumacher and Hill took each other out, basically because Taki Inui got in the way of Hill. Ferrari were leading 1-2. Specifically, Alesi was leading. It looked like Jean Alesi was going to win his 2nd race of the season and bring a 1-2 home at Monza, at the home of Ferrari. And what happened was a TV camera fell off Jean Alesi's camera, bounced up the road and took out Gerhard Berger's car. I think it hit his suspension and bang, instant retirement. So that's bad enough luck as it is, but at least Alesi's still leading, okay? He's still in charge. However, a wheel bearing failure then takes Alesi out. So he should have led Ferrari home to a 1-2. Something fell off his car to take out his teammate, then his own car failed, bam, out. What makes it even worse is a year before, the 1994 Italian Grand Prix, he qualified on pole, fastest all weekend, was leading the race, went in for his first pit stop, bang, gearbox failure, out. 2 consecutive Italian Grand Prix Jean Alesi should have won for Ferrari. And bad luck basically ended them for him. So, we're winning this Italian Grand Prix. End. 6th on the grid. Championship rivals, like to our left. Oh my, enough. I had my finger on the accelerator, but nothing happened. But fortunately, our rivals have been forced to brake, and immediately we are charging up to 3rd into the first chicane. Oh, missed my braking point. Just don't do anything silly. Crazy start. I had my finger on the X button, didn't move, but incredibly, our rivals got blocked off, which means we got straight past them. And we are up to third. A brilliant start. Taking advantage of the fact that Katayama and Brundle were ahead of us with a slower straight line speed. I'm sorry, I think that caught me all off guard. So, at the minute, David Coulthard leads from us, from Johnny Herbert. Oh! The exit of the Ascari chicane every time. Across the line, Coulthard leads from Alesi, gap 2.2 seconds. The only way I'm not winning this is, again, silly mistakes in the wet. So let's just take it slow, take it calm, and not do anything stupid, because we can win this. I reckon we can get the run up to the Ascari chicane. Maybe. That spray is ridiculous. Right, can we brake a bit later into Ascari? No, come on. Tiptoeing it through the Ascari chicane. It's just us and Coulthard at the minute up alone. We're at Parabolica. And get the run out of Parabolica. We're side by side and we are into the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. And history repeating itself. We now lead the 1995 Italian Grand Prix with Jean Alesi. All we have to do is keep it on the track. As it stands, our championship rivals are both in the top six. Hill is fourth, Schumacher is sixth, separated by the Jordan of Rubens Barrichello of all people. Oh! I'm sorry, what? Come on! Oh, we've just been hit. Oh! I'm sorry. I don't believe I touched that curb to cause that spin. That's ridiculous. And it took me about a year to get back on the track. 8-second lead we had. 8 seconds gone. Right, immediately in the slipstream on the main straight. Oh, he's gonna... Oh! Coulthard's lost his wing. He's... No. Sorry. This is the most mental Italian Grand Prix. What is going on? Right. There's David Coulthard. He has no rear wing currently. And I'm being funny. That one ain't my fault. Not taking any form of penalty for that. I was alongside him. He just pulled in front of me and forced me onto the grass. Forced me into a spin. So, I'm sorry, mate. That's your own fault you've lost your wing. Absolutely no sympathy. Get in a bin. And under slightly insane circumstances, we now retake the lead of the Italian Grand Prix. Just play circus music over this. Just mental. And obviously our championship rivals are going to benefit from that as well, because Coulthard is now going to sink like a stone out of the top six. Am I alright? So, Johnny Herbert is now in second. Damon Hill up to third. We're going to see some more cross the line just yet. Barrichello, Schumacher, who's in the top six now? Ukyo Katayama. Go on, son. I mean, as always, I'd love your opinion on my racing incidents. The ones at Hungary were questionable, but I'm sorry, David. You leave a car's width. You forced me onto the grass and into a spin. The fact that you lost your wing in the process, sorry, mate. It's your own fault. That is your own fault. I like you, David. I do. You've got a heroic jawline. You're a good broadcaster. Decent Grand Prix driver. But that, not on. Alright, we've got 2 laps to go. I am determined to fire in a couple of quick, incident-free laps just to prove that we got this. That I am still competent. Because I feel like in the last 2 races, that competency has just disappeared. Here we go. 7th and final lap at Monza. And we are already coming up to traffic. Well, in real life, 1994, leading, gearbox problems out. 1995, leading, TV camera falls off his car, takes out his teammate, then wheel bearing failure, then out. You could question how much more Jean Alesi deserved out of Formula 1. But you've got to admit he was unlucky never to win an Italian Grand Prix in a Ferrari. We put that right today. Grazie ragazzi. We win the Italian Grand Prix. As we get confirmation that our main championship rival, Damon Hill, finishes 2nd. Johnny Herbert falls to 3rd. Rubens Barrichello hangs on for 4th. Michael Schumacher, apart from his win in Hungary, he's had a terrible second half of the season so far. He finishes 5th. Coulthard, in the end, 6th. Now, I don't know if he'd have gone into the pits and got his wing changed or just carried on without a wing. Either way, impressive stuff. Fair play to you, David. You're still a nutbed. So the gap increases to 6 points now between us and Hill. Still not a full race win, but the gap opens, so that's important. In the meantime, Michael Schumacher not having a good time. The gap back to him now is, what, 16 points? Damn, Michael. Is he out the race officially now? Where was Gerhard Berger, by the way? In the constructors then, Williams are finally in the hundreds. Their gap is at 14 points. I think the gap is still going down to Williams. But it's not helping that Ferrari and Benetton keep changing places. We're back into 2nd by just 2 points. Brilliant. I mean, we may not have won the one race Jean Alesi actually won in Canada, but we have managed to win his home race in France and the Italian Grand Prix. He's French-Sicilian and he drives a Ferrari, so I think those 2 important races to win, we won them both. And we are leading. Gap increases to 6 points. Time is running out. The season is finally coming to an end. Up next, Estoril in Portugal. I hope to see you there. Thank you so much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, please do like, subscribe and comment below. We could do this, guys. It's game on and we're in charge. See you next time.